Hello and welcome to 4th and 1 with Faith and Kayla.
It's Faith here,
And Kayla.
and we are starting a podcast.
This
This is our first one.
It's
for good reason, because we are really passionate about what we're going to be talking about this fall.
Yeah. So just for a little background for everybody, Faith and I are both Texas Tech University students
Woo!
in the College of Media and Communication, ideally wanting to major in sports broadcasting,
Right.
but specifically majoring in creative media industries and wanting to go into the broadcasting field. Faith, what do you want to do?
Yes, so I'm a journalism major. I'm a junior, and I am also wanting to go into sports broadcasting. Been wanting to do this for a really long time. With this podcast, we are hoping to really, get excited about Tech football and get, people our age excited about Tech football as well.
For reference, I'm wanting to go into color commentating, specifically in the NFL or college game day. Would be a big dream of mine.
Oh, yeah.
And
bucket list.
we are just going to be sitting here having a casual conversation about football.
Yes.
Because that's what we love. And we are two best friends who spend all of our time talking about football anyways. So we might as well start a podcast.
Literally.
Might as well do it. You mentioned that your mom and dad are huge Tech fans.
Oh, yes.
And
we have Tech wallpaper at home.
That's a true story. I've been to their house. I have seen the wallpaper. The entirety of the house in Canyon, Texas is red and black.
Rackham Red Raiders.
All of it. Faith, what got you into football?
Okay, so I grew up in your very typical, I would say, Southern football-loving family. Friday Night Lights were everything. They still are. And I grew up with two big brothers, and I mean big brothers, but they loved football. They both played in college. My dad is a huge football fanatic. He coached them when they were very little, from flag football all the way until junior high for 12 years. And then they both went through the recruiting process in high school, and I got to watch that from front row seats, and loved watching them play football. Used to go to every single practice when they were little bitty just because I was tagging along like little sis. They were both middle linebackers, and, I just grew up all in and around the game, and it was just like eat, sleep, breathe, live football all the time at the Douglas household. And I loved that. It was a lot, but I loved that. And I literally love it so much that I am pursuing a profession in it.
I think if I had to pinpoint who you remind me of, the coach's daughter in Remember the Titans.
Yes.
That is the embodiment of who you are as Faith.
Right. But I plan to spend the rest of my life in and around the game. So it's exciting.
We got to start somewhere. And what made you decide you wanted to come to Tech?
Well, I grew up going to all things Tech. We didn't miss a home football game for years, and I loved it. And I was like, I will never go to Tech. I'm going to go far away, blah, blah, blah. But then I realized, you know what? This is home. I'm a Red Raider. I've been a Red Raider. This is home. And the College Media and Communications has been awesome to plug into and, go from there. And I just realized, this is where I want to be. And I love it. So, Rackham Tech.
As always, Rackham Tech.
What about you, Kayla? First of all, where did your love for football come from?
So, a very fun origin story on that one. We're gonna paint a mental picture for you here for a moment. Close your eyes and think with me for a second. Eyes are closed. Everybody, close your eyes. I want you to picture a 4th grade girl who didn't know what to do with herself because she loved games so much that was only played by boys. And then you know what she said? She said, "Who cares?"
Exactly.
And so from the time, for reference, I'm the girl. just so everyone understands.
I'm sis.
It's me. For reference, I played football from the time I was in 4th grade until I was a sophomore in high school.
Awesome.
And it was, obviously, being the only girl it's a lot, and I learned a lot of lessons, but you can't, when you have a fire for something and you love something so much, you will do whatever it takes to not give it up.
Right.
So I want to work in football because it was my first love, and it's my lifelong love. And there's so many things that I learned, through the game and playing the game and, watching and observing and just being around it all the time, similar to you, that's we have a totally separate perspective than so many people do because we're not your typical football spectators. We don't match that stereotypical anything, honestly.
My brother used to say this thing all the time. You know, there would be all these build up to the high school Friday night lights. There'd be a pep rally, and moms would have like a car rally and 10 million other things and like all this stuff around one game. And my brother would just always say, he'd be like, I just want to play football. I don't care about the rest. I just want to play football. And I feel the same, but I just want to talk about football.
What do you want to do in football?
Well, you know, I believe it started, I'm going to go back to the origin here. I believe it started with like 15-year-old Faith said, you know what, I really love journalism. And then it was like, you know what, I really love sports and I love football. And I like being a spectator, but I liked more than that. I wanted more than just showing up and watching and clapping and then being done. And I think that came from, like, you know, I used to, like, be in and around my brothers watching film at home with my dad on the couch all the time. And I used to, you know, be in on all the recruiting trips and, like, get to watch that from the back scenes. And I realized that I had a passion for sports and specifically football, and then I had somewhat of a talent for journalism, and I realized, you know what, like, why would I not combine the two and create a career out of that?
Recognized, hey, I have this thing that I love to do, but I don't, like, I'm not getting enough just viewing. And that's something that we really bring to the table with this podcast is we are going to give you the inside look as Texas Tech students. So we are going to provide that authentic, you know, game day experience. That little story time, backstory with Kayla Willis.
Let's hear it.
I'm not gonna make you close your eyes this time. One of the main things when I started playing football at my high school, I'm from Durango, Colorado, for reference.
Awesome.
And my first day of high school football, I showed up, and as one would believe and understand, I was absolutely terrified. Ironically, I'd actually gone to TCU football camp the summer before.
Awesome.
But that's a whole nother story. And I walked in, you know, just trying to fit in and do what I love doing, and I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't trying to make a stand. I was just nervous.
For reference, this is a 14-year-old girl walking into a room of probably all males, literally all males,
yeah.
And padded up in their football gear, and just like this picture right now is just like the black sheep. Honestly,
the black sheep in a den of lions.
Yep.
We're not with other sheep. Like, this is all lions.
Yep.
And it was on my first day of high school football. My football coach told our senior captain to, and I direct quote, hit her until she quits.
Awesome. Love to hear it.
We love to hear it. And, you know, and it hurt. I got hit, and I got hit hard. Knocked the breath out of me, laying on the ground. No matter what is thrown at life, no matter who hits us so hard we quit, no matter who wants us to not be there, we belong. And just because we love football and just because we're females doesn't mean we don't know what we're talking about, you know? And you and I are both strong, unwavering women who were made to speak on this sport and who were created to share what we know. And so here we are, trying to be as real and as honest and as heartbreakingly authentic as we can be, and it's going to be embarrassing and it's going to be hard, but we literally just want to talk about Tech football. So I mentioned earlier that we were going to give an inside look, and we were going to talk about football in a way that is not traditional as students. Part of our backstory for both of us, I know we share this, both Faith's two brothers and my one brother play college football.
True.
And both of us, I know, for reference, have been the SJ from the blind side on every single recruiting trip, just looking around in awe of all these stadiums. So Faith, please, I would love to hear like one of your favorite experiences, one of your best, like, this was the coolest thing, because recruiting, obviously, I mean, they literally say nowadays that like coaches' job is to recruit. Like,
right.
That is why
they
like,
hire coaches to recruit. So growing up, like I said, both my brothers played football. I have a brother Dylan and then another brother. And whenever I was in high school, I remember Dane was being recruited by Texas A&M Commerce, which is where he ended up going. Mm-hmm. And I remember when we went on that recruiting trip, one of the coaches, I won't name who, but he immediately walked up to me. I did not know this man from Adam. Mm-hmm. And, of course, my brother knows who they are, and my dad knew, and me and my mom were there, and we were supportive and whatnot, but we did not know, like, all the things. And I remember this man walks up to me, and he's like, "Hi, Faith, how's basketball going?"
Wow.
And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And I was like,
Yeah.
wait, who are you again?
And how do you know who I am?
Right. And then it went into like, it was like, oh yeah, like y'all's Coach Lombard. I'm from Canyon, Texas, by the way. They were like, Coach Lombard, yeah, he always wins lots of state championships. Like, you know, how's y'all's team looking this year? And I was just very like caught off guard because the recruiting side of football is just, you know, like remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I'm going to compare it right now. It is almost as good as the recruiting side of a sorority. And if you know anything about football recruiting or sorority recruiting, they are both incredibly intense processes.
The fact that you can draw a comparison between your sorority and Texas Tech football shows exactly why we are starting this podcast.
Yep.
Exactly why.
Yeah. So who in their right mind can make a connection from football recruiting to sorority recruiting?
Literally only
one
Faith
else.
Douglas. Literally only Faith Douglas. Okay, continue with your story.
Yes, but anyways, I was just very caught off guard. I realized, like, wow, this is intense. Like, literally, my brother was, like, probably 17, 18 years old, and he was going into college, and it's just like, y'all are big time about this. Like, you see the draft, you see the NFL draft, and you're like, okay, obviously that's intense because they're going to get paid millions of dollars, and they're on everyone's screens, and, you know, the whole shebang. But, like, going into college, it just made everything surreal for me that, like, you know, in the South, football is it.
Yeah.
Like, that is, you know, football is it. And that is the situation there. So Kayla and I met going into freshman year of college at orientation here in the College of Media and Communications. And we became friends, but it was more like, hey, like, you're in this college, I'm in this college, we're both freshmen. We were crossing paths several times, like, in our education, took lots of the same classes. Both realized we love football more than anything else. And we both, you know, at the same time, we're like kind of, you know, this is our brainchild. This podcast is our brainchild. Thus, we have 4th and 1 with Faith and Kayla.
Thus we have it.
And so, yeah, I think we're pretty excited. We are pretty excited about football season, this podcast, you know.
The Texas Tech Red Raiders. I know my story is, like, a lot more intense than what you would expect.
Right, being the only female.
Being the only female. And, you know, we came on here and we were very like, yay, football! But, like, there's a lot of depth in both of our backgrounds that has influenced and deepened our love of the game, I would say. All right, Faith. So, you said earlier that your entire family is huge Tech fans.
Oh, yes.
Mom, Dad, everybody.
Yes.
If you could pinpoint your favorite Texas Tech football experience, you have an entire lifetime of stories.
Right.
You have go into the file cabinet, pull one out, let's hear about it.
I got those pictures when I was like 5 years old on the freaking football field, just doing what my mom and dad said to do. But anyways, it would definitely be 2008 when Tech played Texas. And Michael Crabtree caught the last pass, tiptoed into the end zone, and won the game. And we beat Texas. And sadly, that was our last time that we had beat Texas.
Hey, we were close last year.
Yes, we were actually very close. And big hopes for this year. Anyways, that was, you know, an epic moment. I was 7 years old. I was with my brothers, and we literally lost our parents because everyone in that stadium stormed the field, stormed the players. It was a moment. Tech and Texas have been rivals for years and years and years and will continue to be. I am, like, that moment alone brings me so much joy and excitement for Texas Tech football.
So we're carrying that kind of energy, that 5-year-old childlike, we're excited to be here.
Right.
I'm just involved. The electric feel you get on fall days when everything kind of sends shivers up your spine, when the air is perfect, that first whistle, every single thing you love about football and everything you love about Tech football is going to be in this podcast this year. So please, 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 stay tuned.
Yes.
Like, subscribe, listen. You can listen to us laugh. You can listen to us be awkward and try to figure ourselves out. But at the end of the day, you're going to know more about Tech football, and you're going to know more about us, and you're going to know more about what we love. And we cannot wait for you to be a part of it.